Ako po, hindi ko hinihingi kay Lord na makapasa ako sa exam. Bakit? Kasi kanya gawin na maging perfect yung exam. Ang pinapray ko, Lord, ma-perfect ko na yung exam. Bakit tayo hihingi ng napakaliit kay Lord kung kaya naman niya at He's very willing to give so much to us? Okay? So now we will be talking about how do we live or how to have a life of abundance. Let's revisit Matthew chapter 25 verses 14 to 30. This is one of my favorite parables because it shows that the concept of interest has existed long before. Sige po, let's read it. Matthew chapter 25 verses 14 to 30. For it will be like a man going on a journey, so I'm reading from ESV, who called his servants and entrusted to them his property. So there is a Lord there, and he had 3 servants. We know the story, right? To one, he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to the other one, according to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made how many? He made the one that was given the 5 talents. Ilan ang na-reproduce niya? 5 talents. So also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. What did they do? They doubled the money. Okay? But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now, after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little, I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And he also, who had the 2 talents, came forward, saying, Master, you delivered me 2 talents. Here I have made 2 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little, I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of heaven. He also who had received the 1 talent, however, came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is yours. But this master answered him, You wicked and slothful servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to have invested my money where? With the bankers. That's what I know about this parable. No, not really, but the entire story. You should have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received some interest of my own. So he took the talent from him and gave it to him who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. We usually hear this to represent the talents that God has given us. But, okay, we have to use our talents. But this time, I think this is also given to us by God for us to be reminded of our being stewards. Okay? Magkano ba ang isang talent noon? You know, meron kayong clue? It was a small gold coin, pero equivalent niya 15 years of minimum wage. So sabihin natin sa ngayon, 12,000 times 12 months. So that's 144,000 But before I discuss where do we put our investment, let's tackle about this parable a little bit more. So, yung pangatlong servant, what kind of fear did he have? Was it the right kind of fear? Or was it the wrong kind of fear? The right kind of fear of God is reverence and awe. However, the last servant was, his fear was a fear of doubt and a fear of fruitlessness. Therefore, he had a pointless, unproductive dread. Now, friends, will you be the first servant? Will you be the second servant? Or will you be the third? I think your answer will depend on your answer to this question. Do you have this mindset? Money is the root of all evil. Sister Mercy, ano ka ba? Do not preach materialism. That's what, of course po, I will never preach about materialism. Dahil nakita ko po how it kills and eats the children of some of the people I know alive. Alam niyo, children. Sinabi ko ba children? Sorry. Ayan. Anong meron sa materialism? It promises heaven, but it delivers hell. So, hindi po natin yon pag-uusapan. Ang sa atin, we will take care of what God has given us, but at the same time, while we become abundant in doing so, we remain detached, okay? From whatever we have. Money is the root of all evil. Sino niniwala nito? Hindi, right? Kasi anong root of all evil? Love of money. Kanina po, I sat in the breakout session of my husband, and they were talking about projects that the public campus ministers would implement on their respective campuses. Sa lahat ng projects na yon, talks, seminars, concerts, donations, merong kailangan. Bottom line, anong kailangan? Pera. So money is not the root of all evil because it affects you and me every day. Okay? Love of money is the root of all evil. Next, I'm poor and I'll always be poor. Sister Mercy, mahirap ako eh. Ang nanay ko poor. Ang tatay ko poor. Ang uncle ko poor. Ang auntie ko poor. Even our dog is poor. Now you tell me I can live abundantly? Therefore, I'll always be poor. Third, aspiring to be materially comfortable equals greed. Naniniwala po ba tayo dito? Mamaya po isa-isay natin. I do not save. Saving for tomorrow means that I am not trusting God. Ako, napakadelikado nito. Huwag na mag-isa na ito paniniwalaan, okay? Thinking of money is sin. Wealth is excess baggage that prevents people from going to heaven. Later on, we will clarify those things. So, my objectives for this session is for you to have the right attitude towards wealth. I want you to have a change of perspective. God wants us, His children, to live abundantly. And so, He has given us all the capacity to do so. Kung ikaw parent, gusto mo ba naghihirap ang anak mo? Hindi, right? Kung ikaw parent, nakita mo ang anak mo, isang beses lang kumakain, masaya ka? Hindi, right? Si God pa kaya, na sobra niya tayong mahal, gusto niya kaya tayo nakikita na nagsasuffer, na kahit 3 beses ka na kumain, hindi mo pa magawa? Naniniwala ako na lahat sa atin dito will be well provided, will have that abundant life as long as they believe in God and they will do these things na ating mga pag-aaralan mamaya. I want you to have a change of perspective because this is very crucial. Because no matter how many or how much money people receive, unless you change your inner program or your inner thinking, or dislodge those crazy religious beliefs, we will indeed remain lacking forever. Second, my objective is for you to avoid being buried in mountain roads of debt. Sa mga estudyante, hindi ko ng problema. Meron ba sino mga estudyante dito? Sino sa inyo ang mga may utang? Sa tuition, di ba? Yan usually eh. okay? Etong debt na to ay bad debt, okay? Mamaya. Third, for you to learn practical tips on how to invest and achieve financial abundance. So mamaya and tomorrow, I will discuss on how you can invest, apply na in learnings, okay? So, if you are one of those students who sometimes had to skip taking your exams on time because you and your parents have not enough money to pay for your tuition fee before your exam date, if you are one of those employees who get acidic in your stomach every time the phone rings because you're afraid that the credit card providers will be calling you and tell you, nasan na po yung inyong bayad? Pinangako niyo po 2 weeks ago. Alam niyo po, nakakalungkot, but this is really happening. My bosses, off the record, nagaling po natin ka na, okay? Some of my bosses, they are senior assistant vice presidents. But one could not even retire. Naiiyak ako. Ito yung naisip ko. Why? Because yung natatanggap niya, kulang na to provide for her family. Bakit? Kasi lahat na napunta doon sa pagbayad sa utang, sa amortizations niya. So, I want you youths not to experience that, to avoid or at least cure kung nandun na kayo sa sitwasyon na yun. Now, if you're a married daughter, sino na yung mga married daughter dito? Wow, at single lahat ha? So, hindi na ito mag-a-apply. Okay, if you're a single man in your 30s and your girlfriend has been asking you, kailan ba tayo magpapakasal? Dong! Ang sagot mo ay, wait lang, yung pang kapatid ko, yung pang bunso, yung pang kapatid, yung baby pa yung nanay ko, wait lang. If you are one of those elders, pastors, deacons, spiritual leaders who could only pray for your church members when they ask for financial help. Now what you can just say is, I will pray for you, sister. God will help you. But as much as you want to help, ikaw din mismo, kulang. Okay? If you're one of these people, please listen and bear with me for the next 1.5 hours. And I hope I will be able to open your thinking and at the same time be able to introduce to you the investment outlets you can avail of being a Filipino citizen, being earners, or being recipients of income. Okay. What did God promise His people? Deuteronomy 28 verses 1 to 6 to 8. It's all about promises. Sabi dito, actually ito pong promise na to, na-attribute ko to sa mga SDA church, mga SDAs. Bakit? We are the ones obeying God's commandments in full. At sabi, if you faithfully obey the voice of the Lord your God, being careful to do all His commandments that I command you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth, and all, not just few, all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you. Biruin mo yun, i-overtake ka pa ng blessings. Hindi mo pa nga hinihingi kay Lord, nandun na, nauna na. If you obey the voice of the Lord your God, blessed shall you be in the city, blessed shall you be in the field, blessed shall be the fruit of your womb, the fruit of your ground, the fruit of your cattle, your herds, the young of your flock, everything will be blessed. Napakaganda po ng promise ng Panginoon na ito, no? I-claim lang natin. Second, the Lord will grant you abundant prosperity. Verse 12, He will open the heavens, the storehouse of His bounty, to send rain on your land in season, and to bless all the work of your hands. You will lend to many nations, but will borrow from none. You will always be at the top, never at the bottom. Ang ating pong Panginoon ay buhay. Ang ating Panginoon ay ginagawa kung ano ang kanyang sinasabi. He fulfills His promises. And so we can claim all this. Psalm 34:10. The lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek the Lord lack some things. Some things? What? What did the verse say? Lack no good thing. Psalm 37 verse 25. I have been young and now I'm old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Now, question is, sa dami ng mga promises ni God, why are we poor? Why do we lack financial abundance? You see, friends, youth, 90%, take note of this, 90% of your money problems are mind problems. People are not poor because they have no money. That's merely the result, not the cause of poverty. Why are we poor? First, we really don't want to live a life of abundance. As shocking as this may sound, it is true. Externally, we seem to want to be rich, but internally, we're deeply conflicted. Parang masama ayaw yata ni Lord. Baka kapag naging mas mayaman na, mas naging hawak buhay ko, makalimutan ko siya eh. Kaya mukhang hindi niya ibibigay sa akin yan. Ganun ba tayo mag-isip? Second reason, why are we poor? Let's hear from this kid. Okay? Pero basically, sinabi niya, kasi hindi nag-iipon ang nanay niya. Okay? Yun ang sagot niya. Second, we live a lifestyle that goes beyond our capacity. We do not save. We incur bad debts. We become flooded with desires for new cars, new clothes, new rubber shoes, new hairstyle, and so we become drowned with debts. Third, we are financially naive. That's putting it mildly. We don't know how money works, and we don't know how money grows. So we lose whatever little we have. Actually, meron po dyan sa financially naive na yan, meron dyan natutunan na natin nung elementary, high school, college. But hindi lang natin alam paano i-apply. So, why build wealth? For 3 reasons. One is to bring the whole tithe into the storehouse. It's for God. Second, it's for you and your children. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. But the sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. So kung ikaw ay may papamana mo lang ay utang, yun, hindi yun will ni Lord. Third, we want to build wealth to help others. You open your hand and satisfy the desires of every living thing. Here's the other supporting verse. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 8, and God is able to bless you abundantly. Sinabi bang Miss Lee? God is able to bless you. Miss Lee? God is able to bless you just enough. Ano pa sinabi? Abundantly. So that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will, ano ang main purpose? You will abound in every good work. Bakit mo kailangan ng pera? Para ganyan. Kapag meron public campus ministry events, kaya mo ma-finance. Hindi mapipigilan yung mga ministers na mag-minister kasi meron silang supporter. Financial supporter. We need that. Sino sa inyo dito, gusto po ba ng street children dito? Sino po sa inyo, gusto silang tulungan? Gusto niya sana meron akong charity, na doon ko na lang sila invite, tapos doon sila maliligo, doon sila magkakaroon ng edukasyon, doon nila makikita yung sikat, yung value ng character na dapat meron ng isang Filipino citizen. Sino po sa inyo nag-wish na gano'n? Marami po ang alam ko, no? Marami sa atin ng gano'n. So, in order for us to fulfill that dream, to help our country, to help our fellow men, we should build wealth. Now, how? How do we do it? First, take charge of your financial faith. According to Deuteronomy 30 verse 1, I have now given you a choice between a blessing and a curse. When all these things have happened to you, you will remember the choice I gave you. Ano po sinasabi dito? Life is a choice. If If you're angry today, it's your choice. If you're buried in debt right now, it's your choice. If you're not happy, it's your choice. If hindi ka pa sinasagot ng nililigawan mo, is it your choice? No, you can twist it. Kaya yan, ang mga babae, I think, madadaan lang yan sa ipakita mo lang na mahal mo sila. I think, no, ganon. And you can provide for them. So kung yung una lang, meron ka, love, pero walang pangkain, hindi ka talaga sasagutin yan. Okay? So makinig kayo. Take charge of your financial faith. So since it is always your choice, you have nobody to blame. You have nothing else to blame. You could blame your being lacking on your alcoholic father, on your overprotective lola, on the music that you continually hear from your mother. You could blame practically anything. You could blame Saudi Arabia's king's wife. Dahil nakipag-away siya, ayun, tinaas tuloy yung presyo ng oil. Okay? We have nobody to blame but ourselves. Kung nakikita natin ang sitwasyon natin ganito and wala tayong ginagawa, it's us to blame. Because as long as we consider and as long as we acknowledge that it is our choice, the problem is ours, the solution is within our hands. Pag sinabi mo na, mahirap ako kasi yung mga kapitalistang yan, sila Henry C., sila Lucio Gan, sila Gokong Wei, kinukuha nila lahat ng pera. Sinong nagdadahilan ng gano'n? Sana wala po kasi pwede rin idahilan yun na kapitbahay mo na mayaman. Pero bakit siya mayaman? Ikaw? Hindi. Bakit siya sobra? Ikaw? Nagkukulang. So, stop the blame. I remember, September 23, we were on our way home. Kami po ay pauwi na, nagdadrive si Joker, ang aking pong husband. Kami po ay nakanan ng kaunti para mag-right turn. Nang biglang, pumulusok ang isang UV Express van. Okay? Ano ang sinabi niya pagkababa? Binunggo niyo ako eh! Kuya, paano ka namin bubunggoin? Kami ang kumakanan, ikaw ang nandito sa likod. Hindi ka namin pwedeng bunggoin na hindi kami pa atras. Ikaw ang nabunggo. Sinong blame ni Kuya? Kami, di ba? Stop blaming others and start taking responsibility of your faith, financial faith. Stop blaming the government because the government won't save you. Stop blaming your family that you were born in a poor family. The names I mentioned earlier, Lucio Tan, Henry C., Gokong Wei, they all came from rags. They didn't own anything at all. Pero si John Gokong Wei ay dating bodegero. Alam niyo yung bodegero? Nagbubuhat lang. Pero inaral niya ang business. Ngayon, siya na ang richest conglomerate. So, walang makakapigil sa atin na maging financially abundant kundi ang sarili natin and ang sarili nating choice. Stop blaming God for your poverty. Some people believe God made them poor. Sino naniniwala sa inyo dito? Ayaw ko tignan. Why? I heard this cruel belief is spoken in various ways. Faith made me this way. If I were rich, perhaps I would be as close to God. That's why He will not make me rich. He will not give me more than I need, just enough. It's okay. Okay? My poverty is God's will for my life. Whenever I hear these lines, I get angry. Bakit? Ang Panginoon natin buhay. Ang Panginoon natin, King of Kings, at siya'y napakamapagmahal. Pero bakit siya ang i-blame mo? Bumili ka isang araw ng lotto ticket. Sino bumibili ng lotto ticket dito? Okay, huwag kayo magtataas sa kamay. Bakit? Ba't kayo bumibili ng lotto ticket? Sa tingin nyo kasi ito ay investment. Okay? Magkuhuli lang ako ng ilang combination ng numbers. Birthday ng asawa ko, birthday ng anak ko, anniversary namin. Kung kailan namin natagpuan si Bantay, yun! Kambay-kambay! Ayan, tataya ko to. This is just 20 pesos. Hindi mo ako pinanalo. Kaya ako ganito. Okay, huwag sana kayo. Ganun ha, kundi kukurutin ko kayo. Okay? Stop blaming God. Change your thoughts and you change your world. If you don't like something, kung sa tingin nyo ngayon, nandito kayo sa sitwasyon na ayaw nyo, kasi pag uwi nyo, wala pang pagkain. Kasi sila na yan, tatay, hirap na hirap nang magkuha ng sources of livelihood, pero wala pa rin. If you don't like something, change it. If you cannot change it, change your attitude towards it. Bottom line, it's you who create your wealth and you who create your poverty. Lalo na mga bata pa tayo, the time is on our side. Okay? So what kind of thoughts do you have? Your thoughts have power. Watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Totoo to, di ba ba? Kung lagi ka nagpe-pray, lagi nasa isip mo si God, sa pananalita mo, makikita yon, right? Sa buhay mo, sa actions mo, makikita. Sa habits mo, makikita. Sa character mo, makikita. At anong sasabihin sa inyo mga tao? He is a prayerful person. He is a faithful person. So, watch your thoughts. You and I become poor because we have small mindset. So we have to create a new pattern of success. Kilala niyo po kaya kung sino ang sinasabi ng tatlong teachers na to? First, no matter what you do, you will never amount to anything. Ito ang sinabi ng isang teacher sa kanyang estudyante. Sabi ng kanyang pangalawang teacher, your mere presence spoils the respect of the class for me. Third, yung teacher niya, tinanong ng tatay, ano po ba kukunin ng anak ko na profesyon? Anong sagot sa kanyang teacher? It doesn't matter, he'll never make a success of anything. And this person took an exam sa isang well-known university and he failed. Who do you think this is? This is Albert Einstein. You see, he was able to create a new pattern of success. Hindi siya nagpa-apekto sa environment niya. Hindi siya nagpa-apekto sa past niya. Hindi siya nagpa-apekto sa kung ano ang label sa kanya na surroundings niya. He created a new pattern of success. Therefore, if Albert Einstein can you? Yes, you can do it more. Bakit? You know God. You have a God, a living God. Second, enlarge your psychological wallet. Psychological wallet, other terms for this is your money comfort zone. Isaiah 54:2, enlarge the place of your tent and let the curtains of your habitations be stretched out. Do not hold back, lengthen your cords and strengthen your estates. You know what? Most of us, sabi natin we, have tiny psychological wallets. God wants us to receive more of His blessings. But our thinking, our psychology cannot handle the blessing. Sino sa inyo ang looking forward sa Pasko? Yes. Sino sa inyo nag-work? May ba show of hands? You're working. Are you looking forward to the Christmas bonus? Yes. You're looking forward. Sa mga estudyante, are you looking forward to seeing your ninongs and ninangs? Wala na kasi mga nandito na tayo sa gitnang age. Na pag nakita na lang nila tayo, oh, bless, okay na. Okay na yun, okay? Sa mga nag-work, or sa mga, sige, mali ko ba, meron pa dito na nakaka-receive pa ng kanyang pamasko. Sa mga makaka-receive ng extra money. Okay? Kasi yun, tuwing Pasko, additional income yan, di ba? Hindi siya regular. Sino sa inyo ang wala pa ang Christmas bonus pero mayroon ka nang nakikita ang bibilin? Yung Nike Rubber na yun. Pagdating ng Christmas bonus ko, ang ganda-ganda. Mapapasagot ko na ang minamahal ko. Sino sa inyo ang natin ng 10,000 pesos per month. Dahil every month, nakaka-receive siya ng 10,000, ang kanyang mindset naging pang 10,000 na lang. Ngayon, kung nakita niya yung ATM niya, wow, performance bonus plus 10,000. Meron ako ngayon 20,000 pesos. Anong sabi niya? He's very excited and at the same time, he's panicking inside. What do I do with it? Anong bibilin ko? Saan ako makikipag-date? Anong bibilin ko regalo para sa kanya? You're happy. But at the same time, since you are not comfortable with it, parang hindi ako to eh. Kailangan matanggal to sa ATM ko. Subconscious po yun subconscious. Ganun ang ating pag-iisip. So that you can go back to your 10,000 pesos identity. So, what do? Enlarge your psychological wallet. Pag naka-receive ka ng pera na extra, na hindi mo na-expect, wag mo gagastusin. Bakit sabi mo, kulang pa. Maliit pa to para sa Panginoon at para sa charity ko. Okay? Ganun dapat ang thinking. Ano ang sabi ni Tony Meloto? He is the founder of the Gawad Kalinga. I realized that poverty isn't the lack of jobs or the lack of money. It's the lack of dignity. The poor have lost their ability to dream. That's why we build very colorful GK houses. Yun pala yung reason. Sabi ko, pag ibibigay na nga lang ng libre pong pabahay, napaka-colorful pa masyado. Yun pala. When the new owner of a GK house wakes up each morning and sees the bright colors of his home, he realizes that he can dream again. So let us not stop dreaming. Everything is possible with God. Now, can I ask you to close your eyes? Close your eyes. Can you imagine yourself with 1 million pesos? Can you imagine yourself with 20 million pesos? Or some of you can't even picture this scene. Some can picture it, but they immediately feel uncomfortable. Sino naging uncomfortable na meron siyang 20 million pesos sa kanyang account? As though there's something wrong with the picture. Sige, let's open our eyes. I hope hindi kayo nagpanik, okay? Kasi alam nyo kung saan nyo dadalhin. Yun. Kung hindi nyo pa alam, mamaya sasabihin ko. So, a study was made involving lotto winners. Around 80% of them went back to poverty after some few years. Bakit? Kasi something in them rebelled. So they got rid of the excess money. Yung tinanggal sila sa kanilang 5,000 peso, 3,000 peso identity, inalis nila, hindi sila kasi comfortable. So what we have to do is enlarge our psychological wallet, enlarge our money comfort zone. Third, believe that God is generous and He wants to bless you. Ito pong pinaka-important, I guess. Lalo na sa ating mga Kristiyano, at galing tayo sa kulturang Katoliko, di po ba? Ano yung kulturang Pinoy? Ano yung usual na sinasabi sa atin nung tayo high school pa? Or nung mga nakapag-aral sa Catholic school? Anong sabi? Dapat meek, dapat humble. Oh, tama yun. Ang Panginoon ay malapit sa mga mahihirap. Okay? Do you believe that the rich won't enter heaven? Sabi po dito, and my God will supply every need of yours according to His riches in glory in Christ Jesus. Ano sabi? According to His riches. Ang dami riches ng Panginoon. So, napakasimple lang niya ibigay yan sa atin. Okay? So again, I tell you, may verse, ito, ang medyo nagiging source ng conflict. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. See, Sister Mercy, ang hirap pumunta imposible pumunta ang rich man sa kingdom ni God. Si Jesus mismo nagsabi niyan. First problem sa ganung argument. Hindi binasa yung kasunod. Ano yung sinabi? When the disciples heard this, they were greatly astonished and asked, "Who then can be saved?" Jesus looked at them and said, "With man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible." So, posible ba that a rich man could enter heaven? Yes, but kagaya ng sinabi ni Lord, it will be difficult. Why will it be difficult? It will be a difficult such like a camel going through the eye of a needle. Yung second point na problema dito sa verse na ito, pag binasa mo ito nang hindi mo naintindihan ang konteksto nito, maniligaw ka. Bakit? Ano yung sinasabing eye of a needle? Merong may clue sa inyo? I hope so, ha? Yung eye of a needle na yan, yan yung pasukan ng mga kamelyo noong time ng mga Jew. So, meron pasukan yan. Kasi, di ba, may balls, pasukan. Ngayon, kapag ang camel, galing sa rich caravan, anong gagawin niya? It will slow down. Bakit? Kasi lahat ng mga baggages, i-unload. Pagka-unload, it will stoop down and go through the needle. Ano ibig sabihin nun? First, for a rich person to go to heaven, he must unload his baggages. Ano ibig sabihin ng unload? He remains detached from it. Okay? Or he can give it away if he wants to. Second, he must be humble enough and be a good steward enough for him to consider that everything that he has is not his, but God's. Okay? So, it's not impossible to go to heaven with so much here on earth. Of course, we cannot bring them, di ba? But a rich man can enter the kingdom of God. Nga lang, it's more difficult. But let's take the challenge. Even Paul, was it Paul who said na the teachers will be judged more strictly. Oh, kung ayaw nila, wala na tayong teachers. Di ba? So, we have to take the challenge. Okay, so let's not be afraid of the challenge. Fourth, live below your means. Ano po yung mas naririnig nyo? Hindi ito hindi live below your means. Live within your means. But I say to you, live below your means. Bakit? Proverbs 21 verse 5. This was written by the wisest man on earth. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. Ang mga fools daw, pag naka-receive ng pera or ng ani, inuubos lahat, hindi natitira para sa famine. If we live below our means, two things will happen. First, instead of spending, we get to save. Second, we avoid bad debts. Now, there are two types of debts. Good debts and bad debts. Pag sinabi kong good debts, ito yung mga hiniram mo ng pera sa isa bangko para magpatanim. Kasi, ano yun? Capital yan, right? Kasi in-expect mo, yung hiniram mo, maibabalik mo kasi kikita. Okay? That's a good debt. Ang bad debt, hihiram ka sa bangko para bibili ka ng 40 inches na color TV. Naubusan mo na nga ng pera dahil sa TV, mapapataas pa ang kuryente mo. Okay? So those are bad debts. Now, how much should we save? Any clue? Let me ask somebody. Sino kaya? Ayan, maraming yumuko. Ayan, sige. Dito po, sa harap. Sino dito ka na, kuya? How much percent kaya should we save? Okay, sabihin ko na. Ito, kunin natin sa isa sa mga matatalinong tao. At isa sa mga favorite ko na characters, si Joseph. Sabi niya, let Pharaoh proceed to appoint overseers from the land. This was the time, yung prophecy, okay? Ng famine na darating. And take the fifth part of the produce. What is, ano sabihin na fifth part? 1/5, 20% of the land of Egypt, so that the land may not perish through the famine. Are we experiencing famine right now? Yes, right? So, anong gagawin natin kung wala pa tayo? Be safe, right? Pero kung nandun na tayo, sabi ko nga sa inyo, everything is here. If you really want something, you can get it by God's grace, okay? So, we save 20% of our income. What's the prosperity formula? Your income, 100%. Less tithes, 10%. Less 20% of your savings, therefore you live within 70%. Ano ibig sabihin ng savings? You're paying yourself in the future. You're paying your future self. Okay? That's savings. You're paying yourself first. Bago mo bayaran yung mga may-ari ng malls kasi bibili ka ng mga tinda nila. Okay? Unahin mo muna ang sarili mo after ni God. Kasi itong savings na to, para sa pamilya to. Okay? Para sa pamilya at sa mga charities na gusto mong gawin sa buhay. Now, how do we do it? First, how can we be able to save? Buy only what you need, not one. Kung meron ka ng rubber shoes, dalawa na, or sabihin mo, isa. Pero hinihiram ka para lang mabili mo pa yung isa, para magpa-cute ka kay GF, hindi mo dapat gagawin, okay? Buy only what you need, not one. Pag sinabi niya, ano ba naman yung rubber shoes mo? Palitan mo naman. Sabihin mo, alam mo, nagsisave ako para sa ating future. Maewan ko na kung di pa siya ma-love sa'yo. Second, small savings equals big savings. Naniniwala kayo dyan? Sino may 20 pesos sa inyo? Sino may 20? Sige nga po, paki-ganon nyo nga yung 20, patingin. Sino may 20? Pwede pakilabas kayo, mag-gawa sa'yo ng 20 pesos. Meron tayong 20 pesos sa inyong wallet. Okay. Did you know that in that 20 pesos is 1.2 million in 20 years time? How do you use that 20 pesos? Bili ako ng corneto. Okay, tingnan natin. Face value, ito ang formula. This is what Albert Einstein said na best invention, best mathematical discovery. This is the formula for, sino math majors? Wala na naging math major. Okay, this is the formula for compounding. FV is future value. PV is present value. Anong value niya ngayon? I is interest and number of times you compound it within a year raised to n times t. So, kung ikaw, bumibili ka ng C2, 20 pesos a day. 20 pesos. 2 bottles a day. Morning, evening. Or kaya, isa kayo ng girlfriend. Okay? Monthly cost will be 1,2. That's 40 pesos times 30. 1,2. Annual cost would be 14,4. And at 1% in 20 years, that's 1.2 million. Okay? Walang ano dyan, walang daya dyan. Just the theory of, not the theory, the law of compounding. Pedicure. Sino mga hilig magpa-pedicure dito? 300 pesos. Once every 2 weeks. Monthly cost, 600. Annual cost, 7,2. In 12 years time, may 600,000 ka na sana eh. Eh kaso, napunta sa kuko. Okay? Pero syempre, pwede naman yan minsan. Para pesos, than 50 pesos, than 100 pesos. Be very careful because your small savings equals big savings. Your small decisions now will be equal to your comfort or discomfort in the future. So, some of you may say, Mercy, are you nuts? How can I live on 70%? I now live on 110% of my income. Here's my answer. There's a will, there's a way. And kanina, it's the first step. It's all in the mind. Okay? Do you want to be part of that 2% of people aged 65 above who are financially independent? Or gusto mo na pagtanda mo makiago ka pa doon sa apo mo? Okay? So what we have to do is, aside from saving, if we live below our means, we avoid bad debts like bad bacteria. Not all debt is bad, as I mentioned earlier. So we avoid bad debts. Kung ikaw ay lubog na sa utang ngayon, ito pa nakuha ko to kay Bo Sanchez, kay Bobet Prudente. Lahat po kasi may po ako mag-attend ng mga financial seminars so that I'm echoing what I've learned, okay? First, if you are now living in debt or you are living 110% of your income, declare your Freedom Day. Mag-set ka ng goal. Second, discover new habits of simple joys. Baka hindi mo naman na kailangan i-date si girlfriend doon sa KFC. Baka pwede naman sa park. Okay? Bili lang kayo ng dirty ice cream. Ako, papagalitan ako ng girlfriends niyo. Third, schedule how much you can set aside. Sa naisip mong pera, ilang percent ang pwede mong ipambayad kaagad sa mga utang mo. Fourth, don't borrow when you can't afford it. That's very logical. Fifth, negotiate with your creditors. Alam niyo po ba, na pwede niyong i-negotiate ang interest na pinapalo sa inyo ng mga bangko? Pwede. Kakausapin niyo lang kami. Ang mga treasurers, okay? Pwede yan. Madadaan kami sa pakiusap. Yun ang sinasabi ko. Pero syempre, basta mapababa. Yan, kung nagbabarrow. Pwede rin mapataas kapag hindi deposit. So, depende yan sa pag-iipag-negotiate. So, so, yung kanina po na sinabi ko na, excuse me. Sorry. So, yung sinabi ko po kanina na greatest invention according to, greatest discovery according to Albert Einstein. Kapag kayo or tayo ay nandito ngayon, it will be our greatest enemy. Kapag tayo ay nandito, we are savers, we are investors, which is better, compounding will be our best friend. It will be our money machine. So, do you know this? Have you seen this X curve? I've learned this from IMD Group. This blue line represents the law of increasing wealth. Ito ang time axis, okay? Itong blue wealth is your law, is your money line. Habang bata ka, when you are younger, konti ang pera mo, right? Pagtanda mo, ine-expect mo syempre na dahil sa work, sa promotion, sa business, you will have big savings. The red line is your responsibility line. Habang bata ka, mas mataas ang responsibility mo. Bakit? Kapag nagkaroon na ng trabaho, ano sasabihin ni nanay? Anak, sumasweldo ka na. Yung 1,000 para sa grocery. Pag nagbigay 1,000, after ilang months, unang yung binibigay mo, bigtagyan mo pa para dun sa kapatid mo. Okay? So, mataas ang responsibility natin. Habang nandito tayo sa young stage, it is us working hard for the money. Habang tumatanda tayo, ito sa axis na to, as we become older, our responsibilities go down, but we're expecting, of course, that our money line will increase. This time, we want our money to work for us kasi hindi na tayo maka-work. Now, there are two problems here. One, if you die too young, at yung mga pamilya mo ay nakadepende sa'yo, how will they be? Sasabihin ba nila na, bakit mo kami iniwan? Wala kami pagkain. Saan ako makuha ng pera? Inatake pa. Okay? Or, will they say, anak, bakit mo kami iniwan? Pero thank you. Kasi, iniisip mo pa rin kami. Okay? Another problem is, if you die not die, if you live too long, nag-retire ka, nag-work ka for 40 years, and now you have your retirement. Pero pagka-receive mo kasi ng retirement mo, yung 1 million, sabihin natin 3 million, yung 1 million, pinapa-repair mo ng house. Pero 40 years ko na itong diniis, mapapa-repair ko na ito ng 1 million. Yung 1 million, pinabili mo na kotse, kasi sabi mo na, para sa mga apo ko. Yung 1 million, magtitira ka para sa sarili mo. Pero, habang tumatagal, ano nangyari sa 1 million? Ha? Nagsishrink. So, may dalawa tayong problems. If we die too early or live too long. Now, what do we do para ma-resolve ito? If you die too early, what's the practical solution? Get insurance protection. And I advise that you get term insurance, okay? Not life insurance. Bakit? Kapag life insurance, hindi pa ito kukuha hanggat hindi ka hurt. Okay? Pero ang term insurance, at some specific time, after ng maturity, you will earn income. Para kang parang additional source mo of income upon retirement. So, how much protection? How much insurance should we get? Protection needed should be at least greater than your monthly salary times 12 times 10. So, it's equivalent to annual salary times 10. Bakit ganyan? Kasi you're expecting, halimbawa, ang monthly salary mo ay, sabihin natin, 20,000 pesos, i-times 12, magkano yun, ha? 240,000. Times 10, 2.4 million. And sa 2.4 million na yun, you're expecting that you will invest it at a 10% rate. Sabihin natin 10%. That's already a conservative estimate. Sa 2.4 million mo, times 10% mo, magkano marireceive ng pamilya mo per year? 240. So it's like you're still living. Gets niyo yung logic? May monthly salary ka, times 12, that's annual. I-times mo sa 10. Kasi, so that's 240, so 20,000 times 12, that's 240,000 times 10, that's 2.4 million. Pag ikaw nawala na, and since nag-invest ka ng insurance, and yung 2.4 million na yun, pag nakuha na tayo, or nawala na tayo ng buhay, yung 2.4 million na yun, if your family is just wise enough, okay, to invest that 2.4 million doon sa investment outlets that will give them 10%, every year they will receive 2.4 million times 10% is 240,000. So, i-divide mo by 12, that's 20,000 a month. So, parang nandun ka pa rin. Okay? Kaya yan ang logic. Bakit ganyan ang kailangan mo na insurance protection? Second, if we live too long, the solution is we create an emergency fund in the bank. Hindi pa yan. Dapat retirement. Sige, extra, okay? Bago tayo dun sa pinakadulo. Sa gitna, habang nabubuhay tayo, we have to create an emergency fund. Bakit? Paano kung bigla ka nawalan ng trabaho? Paano kung biglang nagbagyo? Tulad ngayon, may bagyong lawing. At sinira ang bahay nyo. Saan ka kukuha ng pera? O sinira ang office nyo. Sabi ng mga boss mo, walang pasok. May problema na tayo. Ayaw ko magpasweldo dahil sira yung machine, sira yung lahat, sira. Sa retirement fund. Invest as early as you can. Sabi sa Proverbs 21:20, galing talaga ni Solomon, ano? Nakuha niya na, sabi niya na lahat eh. Bago pa siya napanaw. Saving up for a rainy day, putting your money to work. Sinabi ba niya, you working for your money? Sinabi ni Solomon, putting your money to work for you. And multiplying it is a wise thing to do. So what do? We invest. We create a retirement fund. Yun ang gagawin natin pang-invest. What is investing? It's the act of committing money or capital to an endeavor with the expectation of obtaining an additional income or profit. It's not gambling, ha? Hindi kagaya ng sa Lotto. Bakit? Kasi gambling is putting money at risk by betting on an uncertain outcome with the hope that you might win the money. Okay, so that is investing. What is compounding? It's the process of generating earnings on an asset's reinvested earnings. Bakit ito powerful? Because yung interest mo, nag-earn ng interest. And silang dalawang interest, nag-earn pa ng interest. Yung based dun sa formula. F equals PV times 1 plus I raised to D. Example, you have 10,000 pesos investment. Invest mo siya at 6%. That will be, after 1 year, will be 10,600. That 10,600, kinalimutan mo yung 10,000. Sabi ko, sige lang, ayoko galawin. Another year has passed. It became 11,236. So, magkano pinita mo? Additional 636. Year 3, hindi mo pa rin ginalaw. Nag-compound. Yung 6% mo, pansin nyo? Yung 6%, dahil sa formula na yun, yung 6% hindi siya dito. 6% minimultiply sa na-accumulate na may principal at interest. So, times 1.06, 11.9, magkano additional interest mo? 674. So, from 600, sa year 2, because of compounding, meron ka na additional 36. The next third, meron ka additional 74. Wala ka pang ginagawa niyan, ha? Hindi mo pa yan dinadagdagan. Okay? That's how compounding works. And this is the main reason why a lot of rich businessmen are rich. Because they put their money in investments which give them compounded interest. Aside from their businesses, of course. So, start early. Habang may... Kaya niyo ba mag-start early? Di ba kanina yung 20 pesos? Kaya i-save yan, no? Per day, 20 pesos. So sabihin natin, mayroong mag-best friend, si Pam and si Sam. Pareha silang 25 years old. Si Pam, nag-save siya ng 15,000 at 25. Hinayaan niya lang yun sa bangko. 15,825. After some years, this is just math. Nung 50 years old, 57,201. Yung 15 niya, naging 57,200. Si Sam, 35 daw siya na-start. Sabi niya, bata pa ako, next year na. Next year, teka lang, marami pa akong gustong bilhin eh. Next year na. Hanggang 10 years after, 35 doon na siya nag-invest. Ang pera niya, by the time na 50 years old siya, is just 33. So, ang laki ng difference. Ang earnings ni Pam, nagsimula early, 42,000. Si Sam, nagsimula lang later, 18 lang. So, it's better to start early. And early means now. Okay? Start now. Kasi walang bangko ngayon or wala pang mga investments outlets ngayon na available. So, I will explain later. Kasi Friday night na, no? Okay. So, kung makikita na, i-graph natin yon. You see, si Pam, ito yung kanyang money. Ito yung age, and then ito yung amount ng money. Si Sam, ganito. At the age of 47, nakita niyo yung gap, lumalaki. Kaya mas maganda as early as possible, as early as now. So another situation, si Pepe, from 22 years old siya, kumikita siya ng pera, nag-save siya ng 20,000 per year. So mga magkano lang yan, 1-2 per month. Tama ba? So, ginawa niya yun, 6 years straight. After na 6 years, si Pilar, hindi 200 per month, so 20,000. Pagdating ng 62 years old, sa tingin nyo, magkano nang makukuha ni Pepe versus Pilar? Ang laki ng gap, right? Si Pilar, may 4.8 M. Si Pepe, 9.6 lang. Ay, 9.6 na agad. Okay? Just because he saved and invested early. Now, sa pag-invest, 3 things you have to know. Anong investment objectives mo? Anong financial position mo? And anong personality mo? For the investment objectives, ano ba ang gusto mo? Safety of capital? Gusto mo ba pag nagbigay ako ng pera, pambili ng mutual funds? Nagbigay ako ng pera, pambili ng REITs? Nagbigay ako ng pera, pambili ng stocks? Gusto mo ba yung pera mo babalik sa'yo? Yung buong kapital? Yun ba ang priority mo? O gusto mo ng growth? Yung ang growth ang priority mo, kaya hindi mo muna siya kukunin. Gusto mo ba na ikaw ba ay currently, ang income mo ba, kaya ito? Yung minimum investments na ito? Or hindi pa? Yun ang mga consider mo. Gusto mo ba capital appreciation? Ikaw ba ay 75-year-old widow who is living off her retirement portfolio? So, kapag ang retirement na person, anong gusto niya? Value of investments or return? Return of value or return ng investments? Siyempre, gusto niya is ma-return, right? Ma-preserve yung capital. Personality. Ikaw ba ay risk-averse or risk-taker? Gusto mo ba yung galaw ng up and down ng stock prices? Na gusto mo maabutan yung taas at makasell bago magbaba? Or gusto mo mag-averaging? Or para kahit pa paano kampante ka? Or gusto mo balance lang? Okay? Or ikaw yung tipo na ayoko, nag-explore. Gusto ko, bigay ko lang dyan yung pera ko. Gusto ko lang kahit monthly or quarterly interest, meron ako. Okay? So, ang general rule there in investing, the shorter the time horizon, the more conservative you should be. Okay? So, what are the types of investments? These things I will go into detail tomorrow. Kukulanin pa tayo ng oras pag isa-isahin ko to. And tomorrow, I will share with you paano mag-invest sa stocks. Okay? Actual. Bonds. Okay. I will just give you a brief overview on the types of investments. We have bonds. Pag sinabi mong bonds, ito po ay, pansinin niyo po, ang investments hindi ko nilagay dyan savings account. Kasi ang bank savings account para lang yun sa ating emergency funds. Okay? Pero ang investments or retirement fund natin, dito natin dadalhin. Kung saan dinadala ng mga bankera na kagaya ko. Okay? I-surpass nyo ang mga bangko. One type of investment outlets is bonds. Pag sinabing bonds, hindi siya yung bond paper Sinabing bonds, yun ay certificate of indebtedness. Kumbaga, katulad ngayon, ang gobyerno, di ba po, meron sila si President Duterte, meron siyang plano on infrastructure projects. Right? Pero paano niya kukunin ang financing nun? Dalawang ways na kukuha ng financing ng government natin. One is via taxation. Itataas ang consumption tax, ang value-added tax, lahat ng tax, itataas. Or, he will borrow through the financial market. So, ano yung sabihin ng borrowing? Pag nag-borrow siya, basically ang batch ganito, since it's a certificate of indebtedness, yung ikaw na nag-borrow, government, mag-issue ka ng bonds. So, para siyang promissory note, in a layman's term, na sinasabi na, itong amount na to, halimbawa, ang kailangan ng gobyerno ay 1 trillion. Pero, i-issue kasi yan ng Bureau of Treasuries. The technicalities masyado ng Pero, ang point po niyan is, once na mayroon kang hawak ang government, once na manghiram sa'yo, mag-issue siya tayo ng bond. Yung bond na yon is like a certificate, parang IOU na note. So, sasabihin niya doon sa bansa, meron kang pinuutang sa gobyerno na 50 million. Sabi mo na 100,000 pesos, okay? So, 100,000 pesos na yon Halimbawa sa retail treasury bills. Alam niyo po ba na ang retail treasury bonds, marami pong klase ng bonds, treasury bills, treasury bonds, and like RTBs, FXTX, or treasury notes. Isa-isin ko po yan bukas. Kapag ikaw ay bondholder, it means na ikaw ay nagpautang sa gobyerno. Bali, ang gagawin po dyan, kung kailangan ng gobyerno ng 1 trillion, si Bureau of Treasury, mag-i-issue siya ngayon na magpapa-auction yan ng bonds. Yung mga primary market participants, mga bangko, mga trust, big trust accounts, magbibid yan. Magkano ang gusto nilang ipahiram sa gobyerno at with a promised return. Siyempre, kung meron kang pondo gobyerno ay bangko, papayami mong gobyerno, kailangan merong interest. Okay? So, doon ka kikita sa interest na pinautang mo sa gobyerno. Okay? So, yun ang tinatawag na bonds. It's just certificate of indebtedness. Ang ibibigay nito sa'yo, interest rate. Yung bonds, pwedeng government na mag-i-issue siya, may kailangan. Kaya pag nag-issue siya, bili ka, buy back. Tapos, pagka-account mo ng pera, every month, magsasabi ka lang ng savings account mo na number, doon makikicredit na yung iyong interest. Or, pwede din siyang i-issue ng mga corporates. Gusto nilang mag-borrow from the public. Second type of investment is the stocks. Ano yung stocks? It's a certificate of ownership. So, kapag ikaw meron kang stocks, bumili ka ng stocks, bumili ka ng stocks, partly owner ka na nung company na yon, okay? At dahil partly owner ka, pwede silang magbigay ng dividends, and yung dividends, yun yung income mo. Or yung sa pagtaas ng presyo ng stocks, doon ka kikita. Sa stocks po, good news, you can invest at a minimum of 5,000 pesos. Sa 5,000 na yon, marami ka ng ilang stocks na mabibili. Bakit? Kasi meron dyan 2 pesos per share, tapos 100 lang ang minimum. So, pwede kang bumili ng stocks kahit ganong halaga. So, every month, 5,000, let's say 5,000, ibibili mo ng stocks, unti-unti. Okay? Hanggang sa bibigyan ka niya ng returns via capital appreciation and dividends. Tomorrow, I will explain further. Third is mutual funds. Mutual funds, ito yung kombinasyon ng mga companies. So, ang mutual funds, siya yung, ang hawak niya na stocks, hindi lang stocks ni Meralco, halimbawa, o hindi lang isang stocks ng company, kundi lahat, karamihan ng mga companies. And then other alternatives would be forex, commodities, real estate, etc. The procedures and the details will be discussed na lang sa breakout, okay, for the single professionals. Okay, so how do we do it? We create five accounts, okay, in our bank. Or kaya, envelope, pero hindi pwede envelope, baka mawala. 5 accounts, sa 5 separate accounts, open. First, tithes fund. Second, emergency fund. Third, insurance fund. Fourth, expense fund. Fifth, retirement fund. So, i-segregate mo yung pera mo in these accounts para magawa mo lahat. Okay, for our summary, why are we poor and how to get out of it? Kanina, ang thinking, we don't want to live a life of abundance. So what do we do to get out of poverty, to get out of lacking so much? First, take charge of your financial faith. Second, enlarge your psychological wallet. Third, believe that God is generous and He wants to bless you. Kung ang problema is we live a lifestyle that goes beyond our capacity, solution would be live below our means. And if you are financially naive, then we have to learn these things. Learn these investment outlets. Get insurance protection. Create an emergency fund in the bank. Create a retirement fund. Invest as early as you can. Last reminders, friends. In Genesis 1 verse 26, God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." Ano po napansin niyo? Being likened with God, having His image, is a prerequisite for us to have a dominion over the earth. But remember the Lord your God, according to Deuteronomy 8:18, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms His covenant which He swore to your investors as it is today. So friends and youth, single professionals, I hope you